SWAN song. Boris throwing a Hail Mary to ease Tory's MP furious mind amid UK energy crisis. Boris Johnson is set to cave to Conservative fury amid concerns energy prices could be on the rise. Boris Johnson, 57, looks set to put forward new measures to help Brits deal with rising energy bills. The Prime Minister will take personal charge of the matter and put forward his plans by February 7. Many British households are expected to face a bill increase of around £600 by April 1, leading many ministers to conclude something needs to be done to deal with the crisis. The news means Chancellor of the Exchequer Rishi Sunak, 41, will need to dip into taxpayers' pockets to provide such support. However, Mr. Sunak is thought to be cautious about dishing out too much cash to deal with the crisis. Sky News' Sam Coates even suggested the Eurosceptic Chancellor was sceptical about scrapping VAT on energy. Mr. Johnson, a key campaigner with the Vote Leave campaign in 2016, said the UK would be able to scrap VAT on energy bills during the Brexit referendum. Many Brexit-backing backbenchers, including 55-year-old Craig McKinley, have called on the Prime Minister to deliver on his commitment from 2016. Tory MP John Penrose argued there was a need for structural reforms to the energy price cap, as well as energy self-sufficiency to uncouple us from Russian gas. In response, Mr. Johnson said, "This government are taking the tough decision to invest in the long-term future of our energy supply, investing in massively increasing our supply of renewables but nuclear as well." The Thanet South MP said, "VAT should be cut permanently as a Brexit dividend." The Brussels bloc has a standardised system for VAT across member states, including a standard rate of no less than 15% and a reduced rate for certain goods or services of no less than 5%. Calls for Mr. Johnson to consider delivering his Vote Leave pledge come as the Prime Minister faces mounting pressure from inside his party. More than a dozen MPs are reported to have handed no confidence letters to Chairman of the 1922 committee Sir Graham Brady, 54, and ex-Brexit Minister Lord Frost, 56, resigned from the government over concerns about COVID and taxation. Mr. Johnson also suffered a massive electoral blow in the North Shropshire by-election when the Liberal Democrats overturned a Tory majority of almost 23,000 to take the Brexit-backing seat. Labour's deputy leader Angela Rayner, 41, pushed Mr. Johnson during the first Prime Minister's questions of 2022 for the government to commit to scrapping VAT on energy bills. She said, "When energy bills are to be hiked again in April, any decent government would find a way to help British families." Even Tory backbenchers have finally accepted Labour's call for a cut in VAT on energy bills, so will the Prime Minister finally stand up to his Chancellor and do the same? Mr. Johnson responded by pointing out how Britain would be unable to axe VAT on energy bills if Ms. Rayner and most of her Labour colleagues had succeeded in keeping the UK inside the European Union. The Prime Minister said, "The opposition now have the effrontery, having campaigned to remain in the European Union, and she did too, did she not? Oh yes, she campaigned to remain in the EU. Oh yes she did. And they now have the barefaced cheek to come to this House of Commons and say that they want to cut VAT on fuel, and so did the Shadow Foreign Secretary when everyone knows full well that that would be absolutely impossible if we were to do what Labour would do, go back into the EU and remain aligned with the EU single market. That is the objective of the Labour Party. It cannot be trusted on Brexit, and it cannot be trusted on the economy." Sir Keir Starmer, 59, has not committed the Labour Party to back rejoining the EU. However, the Labour leader was a proponent of a second referendum on membership of the Brussels bloc when he was Shadow Brexit Secretary and has faced calls from MPs, including the 46-year-old Shadow Minister for Tourism Alex Sobel, to keep the battle going on Brexit.